What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the DC edition of the Ragin Nation show. This is just a web series where we're talking about all things matter me in the DC cinematic universe. This is episode number 19, and we got a lot to talk about, mainly because Suicide Squad is filming, and of course, there's been a lot of hype surrounding Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, especially after the teaser trailer came out. Let's first start off by talking about Suicide Squad. If you don't already know, it's filming right now in Toronto as we speak. And a lot of times when movies are filming, they also do their casting. As a matter of fact, more cast members have been added to the film while it's filming. So recently, Common has been cast. Raptor actor Common has been cast as an unknown role. I don't know who it's going to be, but I like the fact that Common is in Suicide Squad because not only could he play any character, any one of those characters in the Suicide Squad, but he's actually a very great actor. I like him. I really respect him as an actor because he's very versatile and he's put on a lot of great performances. So I have no idea who it's going to be, but it could be any one of those members or any one of those villains, or rather their adversaries. Speaking of adversaries, let's talk about Deathstroke, because apparently it turns out that the casting of Joe Manganiello was a rumor. He is not playing Deathstroke. Instead, it looks like it's going to be Jim Perrick, who was in Fury and True Blood, and he seems to confirm that he is playing Deathstroke. So I haven't seen a whole lot of his work. I have seen Fury, and it makes sense that David Ayer would want to cast him, considering that he worked together with him in Fury, and he probably worked well with him. But if he's going to be playing Deathstroke, that's cool. At least Deathstroke is in it. That's all that matters to me. He's a really, really cool villain, and I'd love to see him in Suicide Squad. Now, let's talk about the Joker. Of course, there's a lot of hype surrounding Jared Leto as the Joker. And he's been Instagramming and tweeting about what his look is going to look like as the Joker. And David Ayer has been talking about how his Joker is going to be very, very different from the Joker that we have seen in live action films, and also the previous interpretations of the Joker. All right. Well, it looks like we're getting our first photographic evidence, like physical evidence, of the Joker that we're going to get from Jared Leto. And this was all caught from paparazzi. Apparently, they were taking photos of him while he was filming. And also, Jared Leto tweeted some transformation photos. And when you put the two together, he looks psychotic. He looks scary. I thought Heath Ledger's was psychotic and scary and very intimidating. And it was. And it is. To this point, it still is. All right? I have no idea what Jared Leto's Joker is going to look like because I haven't seen it yet. In his performance, but I at least know what it looks like, and it looks freakish. It looks really, really freakish, and that makeup really, really freaks me out. So that's what it looks like, and it has been revealed through paparazzi photos, and I don't know what to think of this, but it is at least going to be quite psychotic, okay, because Jared Leto can play a psychotic character. All right, he's a great actor. So that's it about Suicide Squad. Let's talk about Aquaman. And while the Aquaman movie is a long ways from now, and not a whole lot has been going on other than the fact that they cast Jason Momoa, it looks like director James Wan is in the running, or at least someone who Warner Brothers wants to direct Aquaman. It looks like he's a candidate, a main candidate, a prime candidate rather, because of his success working with Universal Pictures when he directed Furious 7. Obviously, Furious 7 is a huge hit at the box office, both for the critics and also the box office, raking in $1.1 billion in worldwide in 2 weeks of its release. All right. Now, it's not like James Wan is going to replicate that kind of exact success in Aquaman, but it at least shows that he can tell a story, even though there are a lot of odds that are against him. All right. So he can handle it. He can handle a big movie. He can handle an emotional movie, and maybe James Wan is the right director for Aquaman. Who knows? So that's what's happening. So we can expect that to happen. I mean, if they have the right vision, then James Wan will be the candidate. All right. Speaking of candidates for other DC Cinematic Universe films, it looks like a candidate has been booted out. Originally, Michelle MacLaren was supposed to direct Wonder Woman. Unfortunately, she is out. And that is because there was creative differences. And, I haven't really seen Michelle MacLaren's work, but I had the impression that she is a really great storyteller. And I'm glad they got a female director to direct Wonder Woman. Mainly because we're given that female vision of how they perceive a female superhero. I really, really wanted to see that type of diversity. Well, the main creative difference was that Michelle MacLaren wanted a more grand and epic, or rather, an epic telling of Wonder Woman, kind of like Braveheart style, as what it was described. She wanted a more Braveheart style, grand scope of a film for Wonder Woman. Okay. Unfortunately, that wasn't the direction and vision of Warner Brothers. They wanted a more personal story. They didn't want something that involved Wonder Woman leading an army of Amazons. They didn't want that. They wanted a more personal story, and it looks like because of that, Michelle MacLaren walked out. Okay, or at least Warner Brothers gave her the boot, and she's no longer directing Wonder Woman. Instead, they do still have a female director, and that is Patty Jenkins. Okay. We're not going to be getting the Braveheart style film, a Wonder Woman film, but we will be getting a more personal story, which is still a good thing. If Patty Jenkins' name sounds familiar, it is because she was originally tapped to direct Thor: The Dark World. Instead, I think it's Alan Taylor ended up getting that job, but Patty Jenkins originally was supposed to direct Thor: The Dark World. Okay, so that's what's happening. We got a switching of directors, and we also had a change in creativity, or rather vision. Okay, so it's no longer Braveheart style, it is a more personal story. Okay, finally, let's talk about Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. Obviously, they put the teaser trailer out, and they created a lot of hype. So let's just talk about some new developments, and that is a Batman vs. Superman poster. I don't even know which poster it is, but apparently the credits are out, and they are giving Ben Affleck as Batman to have top billing. And what top billing means is that his name appears first in the credits, whether it be in the movie poster or the credits of the film. Ben Affleck will be the first name that appears in Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. And I think that might surprise a lot of people because, Batman vs. Superman, while it does have the Batman name first, a lot of people might have perceived it as a Man of Steel sequel. It's not a Man of Steel sequel. There will be a Man of Steel sequel later on, maybe in 2019 or 2020, but it will not be a Man of Steel sequel. Henry Cavill confirmed that. It is going to be a prequel movie, which is the inception, or rather the creation of the Justice League. So that means there's going to be an equal amount of screen time with characters, that are in the Justice League, but with most of the screen time devoted to Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill. All right, but this is interesting. This is interesting that they're giving Ben Affleck top billing. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be that surprised, but it is still surprising in a way. Okay. Speaking of which, there are new Batman vs. Superman posters, teaser posters, that were tweeted by Zack Snyder, and they look like this. And what it shows is that Batman's face has been covered by the Superman logo, or Superman's face covered by the Batman logo. And you know what this reminds me of? Thanks to Ben Madison of the Ragin Nation, he showed me the Transformers Age of Extinction teaser poster, which really reminds me of these posters. And what it shows me is that it begs the question, and that is, whose side are you on? Like, for the Autobots, whose side are the Autobots on? Or are you on the, are they really the good guys? And which also brings us back to these posters from Batman vs. Superman. Who is the good guy? Whose side are you on? Which one of these guys should you root for? So it's the same kind of concept which is actually very, very intriguing. I like that it creates a little bit of a controversy, and you know, it makes you want to have this inquiry of whose side should I be on? Who should I root for, or should I just let it all play out and see what happens? All right. At the end of the day, they're gonna work together. We know that. Okay. Now, speaking of promos, there is a promo about the new Batmobile. Which is actually very, very cool. The new Batmobile has been revealed before in a photo, but we're getting a closer look in this video. Alright, so I'm going to leave you a link to the description box below where you can see that video. It gives you an up-close and personal look at the video, and also you get to see the actual costumes for Batman, Superman, and also Wonder Woman in color. You know, the photo of the promotional photo for Wonder Woman just showed her in the Amazon costume in one color. Well, you get to see the colors, like the blue, the red, a little bit of the yellow, I guess, in that photo, which is which is something new. We haven't seen that before. Speaking of costumes, after the release of the teaser poster, the official photo, the first official photo of the costume for Batman has been revealed, and it looks good. It's the Frank Miller style, which is more muscular. It's got a lot of work done to it. It's got more definition, not just in muscle, but even on the cowl. You can see that it's kind of like grimacing, right? I mean, like it's like mad, and there's just more personality to the costume. It's not just a suit of armor. It has personality, and it really shows you, or rather tells you, why they're going this route. Okay, because Ben Affleck's interpretation of, or rather Zack Snyder's new vision for Batman is going to be an aged Batman it's not about an origin story. It's about a Batman who's seen it all. I mean, he's been doing this for a while, and he's still not content or satisfied or happy about what's been going on, and it shows with the costume. So it has that personality. So it's great to see that kind of dimension that has been added to just a costume. Okay, and finally, the last thing I want to talk about is, of course, the IMAX presentation of they're calling it the IMAX event for the release of the teaser trailer for Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. And apparently there was an additional footage that we didn't see online. If you attended the IMAX event, you would see new footage that you wouldn't be able to see from the online version. Apparently it's only 5 seconds. Now, some people might think that 5 seconds, that is so little. Is it even worth it? Well, actually 5 seconds is a lot. A lot can happen in 5 seconds in film. And apparently it's a scene of Batman and Superman colliding. You see him running, and you see Batman running, you see Superman flying, coming at each other, and you see a wide shot of them coming together, and then boom, it's over. So that was the 5 seconds. And what's also great, if you attended the actual IMAX event, you got free passes, or free preview passes, to watch Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice 1 week earlier. Isn't that awesome? I mean, it's unfortunate that it was such a limited event and it only took place in the United States, but apparently the 5 IMAX theaters in all that were lucky enough to host the event in all of America had audiences that received passes, preview passes, that allowed you to watch it 1 week before its actual release date. All right, which is awesome. Okay, so anyways, that's all I got to talk about in this video. I mentioned a lot of stuff. You guys can tell me how you feel about the direction of Batman vs Superman. How do you feel about Zack Snyder's teaser trailer that he just put out? And who do you think is going to be Common's character in Suicide Squad? There are a lot of team members in the Suicide Squad, but who do you think Common could play or should play in a Suicide Squad? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, if you want to see more videos, you should subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be putting more updates for Star Wars, DC films, and also Marvel films. And of course, I got a lot of movies to review. We're getting closer to summer movie season, so there's going to be a lot of movies to review. And of course, I will be providing a review for Age of Ultron when I watch it next weekend. All right? So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, @RaginNation. My name's Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. In this shot, very, very Watchmen-like. This got Zack Snyder's fingerprints all over it. Completely, 100%. I mean, after all, he is the director. But it's got this